Welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2026 Smart Play compatible Luke's Landspeeder. It's set number 75420 with 215 pieces and an insane retail price of $40. But hey, at least it includes a smart brick, right? Yeah, no smart brick included in this one for an insane retail price of 40 bucks. And I'm old enough to remember that 2009 Luke's Landspeeder coming out for $25 and thinking that was too much money, but it at least had a ton of minifigures to make up for it. The Smart Play one doesn't have all that, and it's still more expensive than the 2009 set adjusted for inflation. What the set does have, though, is one smart tag and one smart minifigure with Luke Skywalker. We also get a Jawa and a GONK droid, so no people love their GONK droids. That might be a draw for some people out there. The box art is fairly vibrant on this, showing the twin sons of Tatooine and the Jawa's hut in the background behind Luke's Landspeeder. On the back of the box, it just shows a different scene of the Jawa and Luke interacting, as well as what you could do if you actually had a smart brick, but you don't. So if you want to be able to add the smart brick to the experience here, the cheapest current way to do that is to buy Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, a $70 set, and now you're in $110 to have a full Luke's Landspeeder experience. I just can't even believe they thought this was a good idea. Now, the unboxing experience for this Landspeeder is very standard. You have a couple of numbered bags with the accompanying instruction manuals for the Landspeeder and the Jawa hut. At the back of each of them, it shows you what the smart brick can do if you spend $110 all in to have that experience. I don't think it's worth $110 to have a Luke's Landspeeder with the smart brick, so we'll come right back to that. But of course, we got to get into the minifigures, and that starts with the one smart figure in the set in Luke Skywalker. It's Farm Boy Luke. It is the exact same smart figure that we see in the $100 Millennium Falcon. He's got the ugly production numbers and Lego copyright on one side of the torso. On the back side, there is the Smart Play minifigure logo that they've got on all of them, which is not integral to the use of the Smart Play figure, but it's just something there for the user to know that it's a smart figure. And then, of course, on the other side, there is the trash can. Just terrible, terrible stuff on three sides of this figure. And then on the front side, he's got kind of the normal Farm Boy Luke getup. It does seem to be a slight downgrade from the most recent Farm Boy Luke, where the white on his pants is not printed thick enough, and so it's a little bit see-through. It doesn't look as good as it did in $1,000 Death Star. But I'll tell you, one thing could have saved this figure and potentially saved this set to a lot of people, and that is the inclusion of blue milk. And that is actually included here. The blue milk piece is fantastic. It's printed, very nice. But what LEGO should have done with this Luke figure is made him the blue milk Luke version of Farm Boy Luke, and that would have set him apart from what we already get in the Millennium Falcon. It's the only smart figure in the first wave of LEGO Star Wars Smart Play to appear more than once, so in my opinion, they should have gone and made this unique because the blue milk is already included anyway and made him the blue milk version. All of that aside, this is still a smart minifigure, and so when you combine him with the smart brick, he's going to be able to talk to you, so we'll shake it to wake it up, and don't be shy, Luke. Let's hear what you have to say. Oh, Lord. Here we go. It's so bad. We knew it would be bad, but it's still disappointing. It's just horrible sounding. So yeah, the brick just has to be within like a reasonable distance of him and it'll pick up. So the mumblings are basically it for Luke here. That's basically what he can say. Now, when you combine him with this and the Luke's Landspeeder on the Smart Tile, it makes a special tune, but I'll show you that when we get there. You also get a Jawa, which is a very unique looking Jawa, I would say. The torso design is just very different than from what a lot of the Jawas we have seen in the past looked like. The face is basically the same, though, with those bright yellow eyes on the black head, with the hood, nice printing on the back. It's a nice Jawa figure. It's not a smart figure, but it's a very nice Jawa figure. It's something to be excited about, I would say. And then finally, we have the GONK droid, which is in a nice dark blue color scheme with a brighter blue tile on top. It is printed, so that looks very nice, and he's got some very cute feet. I think it's a pretty nice GONK droid, all things considered, for a fun little playset like this. And by the way, I believe the reason the top of the GONK droid is that different blue color is so that it would be compatible with the Smart Brick, so we'll get to that. Now, as excited as I am to show you the $110 Smart Brick Luke's Landspeeder experience, because this brick isn't included, I feel like we got to start with the non-Smart Brick experience. So, Luke's Landspeeder and the Jawa hut, no brick, what can they do? Now, quick size comparison. It has been downsized from our most recent Luke's Landspeeder in 2022. It seems like LEGO downsizing really knows no bounds. I'm joking, but it is smaller still than the 2020 Luke's Landspeeder, but I would say accurately so. Luke's Landspeeder is supposed to be quite small, so I actually think it's a good thing that this model got smaller, just the price didn't reflect that. I think somewhat surprisingly, I find this Luke's Landspeeder to be a decent playset Luke's Landspeeder build. It's certainly not the best one we've ever had, but it's not mutilated for its smart brick compatibility like the X-Wing build, for example, is. It's not like the Vader's TIE Fighter build with an empty back. Like, it's definitely got a slot there for the smart brick. It's noticeable, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of the other sets are and can be when they integrate a area for the smart brick. So I also love that they tried to cover it up a little bit. It's like 1/3 covered with this crate for the blue milk. I think around the front of the model, they did a very good job representing the texture that Luke's Landspeeder has with the light gray, dark gray, light gray sandwich. Again, not as crazy detailed as maybe the stickers and stuff that we've had on past models, but I think it's good enough for a simple playset version of Luke's Landspeeder. You've also got a clip over here where, we'll just get this out of the way now, you can put Luke's lightsaber. So a little bit of an odd spot for it, as in past models it would kind of go behind where the people sit, but this will work. A definite highlight is that they printed the intakes for all 3 engines, and you have the one engine that is in worse condition than the other 2, represented with some gray bricks instead of the tan bricks that we see on the others. So that's definitely nice, and they are bolted on to the body of Luke's Landspeeder. They don't come off super easily. You can fly it around by the engine, and the designers definitely built this one with sturdiness in mind, as previous Luke's Landspeeders weren't all this strong. So that's definitely nice as well. The bottom of it has some inverted tiles, which just allow it to slide nicely on surfaces, but also keep some of the plates together on the bottom a little bit better. Inside of the very bubbly windscreen here, we do have a printed control panel and a seating area for Luke. It's a very unique seat, but it kind of removes any plastic that would get in the way between Luke and the brick, and I think that was the idea for that. But also, I think it works well as a low-profile seating solution. I don't know if this is something that's going to become common, but it's very nice here. I actually like that. But let's go ahead and remove this. And you're going to see the smart tag there with Luke's Landspeeder. Very nice. And you also have this red knob here. When you push that, it's going to lift up these red things, but it doesn't do anything without the smart brick. Bringing the smart tag into play here with Luke's Landspeeder, this thing is going to come to life. I guess the only question is it a life worth living? For $110, this is the experience you're going to have. Because remember, you have to buy the $70 Vader's TIE Fighter to get the brick to go with your $40 Luke's Landspeeder. So, of course, $110. Now, the brick, just shake it to wake it up. There we go. And then we can place it down on the smart tag spot here with the Luke's Landspeeder, just like this. Make its little activation noise, and you're good to go. The blinking light I personally find to be very annoying, and it's not going to stop so long as it still has power and is on top of the smart tag, because it's trying to sense either red, blue, or green so that it can make the proper noise that goes with that color. And so, of course, integrated into the set, we've got these red little panels that are going to pop up. So when we pop it up, it's going to make a noise. Here you go. You ready? That's it. It does a little honk. That's all it does. You can do this 100 times. It's going to be the same noise every time. And it's really bad. I mean, I can do about beep, 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 beep. Like, come on. Like, dude, it's so bad. It's so laughably bad. And it's a technical limitation of the technology. Like, it's just going to be bad. There was no way around it, apparently, for them. So that's really annoying and bad, and it doesn't get better. Now, when you go to put Smart Luke in the pilot seat, he can make a special tune because it combines with the smart tag, so these two together do something extra special. And much like the Vader's Imperial March, that's probably the best noise you're going to get this smart brick to make for you. Of course, with Luke, otherwise, he's just going to be mumbling. Why you mumbling, Luke? Now, when we actually want to fly Luke's Landspeeder around, we're just going to lift it up, and it will start making Landspeeder noises. So, pretty cool that it's that reactive. You just lift it up a few inches off the ground and it starts making the hovering noises. It sounds horrible. Now, there is occasionally, you can barely hear it, a little, just a tinge of Landspeeder, like realistic, authentic noise that you can hear in there. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, you kind of heard it there, maybe? Just, it's the slightest screech that kind of sounds actually like Luke's Landspeeder, but it's really not good at all. I'll put it closer to the mic and shut up so you can hear it better, but oh my god, it's bad. And that's what happens if you crash it. So that's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite things about these, is that if you do crash, it knows you crashed. That's really cool. But the sound quality like all the other Smart Brick sets, is just so horrible that I think it's irredeemable. Now, that's not everything you can do with Luke's Landspeeder in the Smart Brick, because we still have this Jawa side build. It starts with the blue fuel pump on the side of the build here, and you gotta wonder, does he take unleaded or diesel in the Landspeeder? But you just put this blue color basically in front of that light sensor, and it's gonna fuel up. We'll remove it. He says thank you, and you move on with your day. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty neat feature. It works well. I'm sure kids can enjoy something like that. And then you've also got this green hammer on the build. And so we'll take the green hammer. You're, again, going to put that in front of the light sensor. Let me do it a little longer. Make some repairs. Also, you can see it lighting up the correlating color on top. He says thank you again, and you're done. So that's pretty much it. That's the addition of this to the Smart Brick with the Landspeeder. But again, remember, you don't get the brick with the set. There we go. You don't get the brick with the set as it comes. This is the experience you get for $40. Then you get the crappy experience for $110. Like, that's, I mean, it's just insane that that's what you have to spend to be able to fuel up your Luke's Landspeeder with some poor noises. I don't know. I just don't see the value. I guess I should show you this. One more thing. The GONK droid, because his head is blue, you can use him to fuel up the Landspeeder. Or maybe he's drinking fuel from the Landspeeder. I mean, I'm sure this would be the most enjoyable part of the set for a kid, honestly. Like, the imaginative play of, like, what's the GONK droid doing? This is fun.
What the dog doing?
Versus all the other crap that just sounds terrible. Like, that's the most fun thing about it to me. I almost forgot to show you. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything it does. $40, $110, at least as of release, that is the only way to slice it. I just don't see it. I don't see the quality. I don't see the value. They could have done Blue Milk Luke, and maybe it would have at least got some minifig collectors in the door, but they didn't even do that. So only trash can figure collectors are going to be after this one. As far as kids are concerned, I'm sure kids can enjoy this set in its base format, just because I think the Jawa is fun, and it's a Luke's Landspeeder at the end of the day. They've done tons of them in the past, and it's just a simple play set for kids that always kind of works. But of course, to get that full experience for Smart Play, which is the reason this set has compromises, it's $110. That's insane. You're basically halfway to a UCS Luke's Landspeeder. So I don't think I can find any real good reason to recommend this one, unless maybe you're really into Jawas. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and you can check out more of my LEGO Star Wars Smart Play reviews on the end screen now.